Wake up, Jacob. Israelite Prepper here. Listen, I just wanted to come on and just make a quick little video talking about looking back or turning back. And when you decide that you want to live set apart, you want to do things differently, you want to get your household in order, you want to start homesteading, you want to just do things differently, you want to walk a different path, you want to obey the Most High God and keep His commandments and things like that. One of the biggest temptations that we're going to have, hey Lisi, how's it going? Shalom, shalom. One of the biggest temptations that we're going to have is to look back or turn back, because it's going to be tough. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be really, really, really tough to keep going. It's going to be really tough to separate yourself from the things of the world. Shalom, shalom, Grant Hill. Shalom, shalom, brother. There's going to be a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges. You're going to have challenges within yourself, okay? You're going to have challenges within yourself. You're going to have challenges within your family, your four walls. You're going to have challenges in society. You're going to have a lot of challenges, right? And it's going to be really, really tempted. You're going to be really tempted to go back. A lot of things. The world's going to be tugging and pulling, right? All the time. It's going to be tugging and pulling you, making you doubt yourself, making you second guess. But we have to persevere. We have to be strong. We have to press toward the mark, as the Bible would say. We have to press toward the mark, right? Because everything here in this world right now is temporary. Everything. It's all temporary, okay? This is not going to be around forever. This is just, this is just window dressing right now. This is not the real deal. Now, this is the proving ground, for salvation. What we do right now does determine our salvation in the future. But what's real is going to be the future. What's going to be, the kingdom, when all this stuff is redone, right? But what's going to determine what you're going to be or where you're going to be is what we do with our time right now. Whether or not we have that faith in Messiah, and whether or not we are going to obey. Obedience, right? Shalom, shalom, Michael Rivera. So that's going to be a huge, huge thing, folks. There's a lot of things out there, a lot of distractions out there. There's a lot out there, right? So I'm not going to get in that. But I'm really talking about looking back and turning back. And I was looking up a couple of verses, actually. And a couple of things jump out to me. Obviously, the main verse is going to be Luke 9, Luke 9:62. But we'll get to that. But in Philippians 3:13, he said, "Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended," meaning we haven't obtained it, we don't got it, that which we believe in. Rosie King, shalom, shalom. All the way from the home office. All right, good to have you, sister Rosie UK. But in Philippians, he said, 3:13, he said, "Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before." Okay, so we looking at those things which are before, ahead of us. And that's what we have to do. We have to, that's the only thing that's going to keep us going. Like, why are you doing this, right? You got to keep your why in front of you all the time, because you're going to be tempted to look back. You're going to be tempted to turn away, turn back, like, why am I doing this? This is just, forget it, This is just you're going to ask yourself a question yourself, is it worth it? But you already have to count the cost. You and I are already called to count the cost. We have to count the cost, right? So if we look at Isaiah 43:18-19, let me go out so I can look at the whole verse there. Isaiah 14:18. Let's look at a little bit of that. Isaiah. So we said Isaiah 43. Isaiah 43. I think I said 18 and 19. Okay. 18, it says, "Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Okay, so he's like, don't even worry about the past. Let me go back to where I was. 43, yeah, 18, 19. Remember ye not the former things, not to consider their ways, right? So we make a big deal, and we look at, you know the old phrase like, man, remember the good old days, the good old days, the good old days, right? But none of these things, no matter how good the good old days were, none of these things were meant to last forever, right? Which would be striving towards eternity, okay? And those things, those good things, that's what's going to last forever, right? And we kind of get caught up on the good old days. I mean, hey, I'm guilty of it too. I look back on some things and I'm like, man, that period of time was like probably the best time of my life, right? But if it's not in line with what the Most High wants for you in your life, is it the best time of your life? So we got to look at those things. So Ecclesiastes, let's go to 7:10. Okay, I'm going to go to Ecclesiastes 7:10. Let me look at that. Ecclesiastes 7 and 10. Look what it says. It says, "Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou does not inquire wisely concerning this." Okay? So he's just saying, again, you're thinking the past, all that is always better, right? The thing is, we don't really have any control of the past, okay? What's done is done, right? It's set. It's set. There's nothing else we can do. And yet, as soon as I start filming, I get all these phone calls. But anyway, it says, say not thou, what is the cause of the former days were better than these? For thou does not inquire wisely concerning this, right? So we think everything in the past is a lot better. We think it's better, the good old days, or I wish it were the way it was back then. But we're supposed to be looking at the things that are ahead, okay? When we look at the past, all you can do with that, or should do with that, is just learn from it. Past is a lesson. That's it. It's a lesson, not a life sentence. It's a lesson. So that's what we're supposed to be looking at when we look at the past. Turning back, walking this path, being tempted to go back, very, very, very dangerous, okay? And there's scriptures for that. Let's go 2 Peter, okay? 2 Peter 2:21, right? I want to go 2 Peter 2:21. 2 Peter 2 and 21. It says, "For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness, than after they have known it to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. But it is happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the sow that was washed to her wallowing in the mire." So she got dirty again. Folks, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of people that's going to come into this truth, understand exactly what the Most High wants us to do, understand exactly what the Messiah wants from us and what he inquires of us, right? And then they're going to rationalize and reason within themselves why they shouldn't do it. The all too familiar refrain of, oh, God will understand, right? Or some of them may just say, hey, this is not for me, right? But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to encourage you not to look back, not to turn back, because there's so many temptations to do that. This is exactly the type of falling away that Hasatan, that the enemy wants. He wants us to fall away. That is what he wants. He wants this road to be too hard for you. He wants it to be too hard for you. This is exactly what he wants. He wants you to fall away. He wants you to be discouraged. He wants to tempt you with your children. He wants to tempt you with your wife or your husband. He wants to tempt you with conveniences, okay, and comfort. He wants to tempt you with just anything that's going to get. He wants to tempt you with your self-confidence or a lack thereof. Okay, the brother was just saying, a difference of being lukewarm and being on fire. That's the difference. He wants to tempt you with that. Maybe you're not so confident. You're like, I don't know, what can I, wants you to doubt. That's what he wants you to do. He wants you to doubt. And a lot of us are giving in. A lot of us are turning back. A lot of us, you can't get your house in order or something, and then all of a sudden, that's your stumbling block. You have kids who coming of age, getting 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever, doing their own thing or whatever, and you feel like you failed as a parent. And so that's shaking your faith. Feel like you failed as a spouse, and that's shaking your faith. You're concerned about, well, how will I make money? My job, my career, things like that. And that's shaking your faith. That's putting you at a crossroad. The enemy will use anything to shake you, anything to get you to look back. Anything. Okay? Now, some people are doing it. Some people may not be aware that they're looking back, and not aware that, they're tempted of falling off. Okay? So, but we have to keep going no matter what. Okay? Let's see here. It says in James 1, okay, we go James 1. Let's go 123 real quick. Okay? James 123. Just want to give you guys a few scriptures here and there, just to food for thought. Okay? 123. It says, "For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was." Okay? "But whosoever looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continued therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed." So the things that you're going to put your hand to the plow. You're like, okay, I'm about to do this. I'm about to, get out. I'm about to get my family in order. About to get all these things, right? And then if you are saying to yourself, I've got men, women, brothers and sisters. If you are saying to yourself, you're making declarations, okay? The Most High wants me to do this. He wants me to come out. He wants me to, live set apart. He wants me to keep his commandments. He wants me, right? Because he does require obedience and faith. He wants you to do those things. He wants you to do these things, and then you're not doing, you make excuses not to do it, okay? That's on you. That's on you. We're all going to struggle. We're all going to have, issues, things like that, stumbling, fall, things like that. The point is, as long as you are breathing, you keep moving forward. You keep your eye towards the prize. That's it. That's the secret. It's not about, you are never, ever going to make a mistake again, okay? Don't do that, because that's a trick, because you already know as soon as you make a mistake, then the enemy's right there. Oh, see, you messed up. No. Don't work like that. Don't get discouraged. Don't look back. Don't be like Lot's wife. Don't look back. It's really, really important. Now, I didn't want to take a lot of you guys' time, so I'm just going to go to the scripture that's the whole purpose of this particular live stream, and that is over in Luke 9. Okay, I'm going to go to Luke 9 and 61. Luke 9. I'm going to start at 61, right? So that's the whole purpose of this. Luke 9, drop down to, let me see here. Okay. 61. All right, so let's start in 61, I guess. "And another also said, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house." Let me just say goodbye to them, right? And then what he said in 62, he said, "Jesus said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looketh back is fit for the kingdom of God." Okay, nobody is fit for the kingdom of God, right? Looking back. And it's just one of those things, guys. I mean, like, I'll give you an example. One of the examples is like when you finally gave up, Christmas and things like that, right? Now, when you were going, what was it? It was, the cooking and the merriment and the presents and families over and all that stuff, right? And then when you gave it up, you all that changed, right? You said, okay, I'm not doing that. Now, your family, aunts, uncles, cousins and all that other stuff, your family, they kept going. They kept doing it and stuff like that. Now, maybe not you, but maybe someone you felt some type of way because you're like, man, we used to get together and have fun, and there's food and, telling stories and playing games and all those other things, all the things that you did on that or whatever, and you miss it, right? You may not miss Christmas, but you may miss getting together, right? Family and stuff like that. You may, that. And then There's a lot of people who rationalize within themselves, reason within themselves, their own vain imagination, and try to figure out a way to finagle and say, hey, you know what? That wasn't so bad. It really wasn't about the tree. It really wasn't about the gifts. So if I just still do that and, you know, just get the gut. So now you're playing yourself. But that's, again, that's looking back. You're looking back on that. You find some kind of way to try to overlook the paganism in it, right? And I'm not picking on Christmas or whatever. I mean, come on, you know, we're all mature. That's, you know, that's like coming in the Hebrew, you know, roots, you know, like 101, you know, giving up pagan holidays. But I'm just using that as an example, you know, of, you know, looking back, you know. So we got to be able to divest ourselves from anything that would separate us from our salvation. We got to be willing to do that. Whatever is going to separate us, whatever is going to be a stumbling block, okay? Let's see. We talked to a couple years back. Okay, let me look on the. I'm gonna look on the. Let's see here, so I can catch you real quick. Because the comments, they come on the screen and then they go away real fast. So let me take a look. All right, so let me look at some of these. Talk to some of you guys. All right, let's see here. So, Lisi, shalom. Grant Hill, my brother. Michael Rivera, shalom, shalom. Rosie UK, shalom, shalom. Boldly, shalom, family, shalom. Okay. What are you saying? He says about being on fire for the Lord, not lukewarm. Totally agree with that. It's never too late as long as you're breathing. Absolutely, you got to keep going. My brother Ronnie Rayner, shalom, shalom. Grant Hill needed this word today. Grant Hill said he needed that word today. Hey, I'm glad I can help. And then Bo Lee said, keep speaking the truth, brother, because it's the truth. Even though our flesh loves living in sin, we must hate our flesh and live in the spirit in holiness. Absolutely. Yes, we do. We absolutely do. Well done, HJ. Said, Peach, brother, read. This is brother Harry from Chicago. Shalom, shalom, brother. We talked a couple years back. Let's get caught up wanting to get some land also and still yearning to be among the brethren. Absolutely. I think you know my the email. You can email me FOI Bible Studies. In fact, I'll tell you what. I'll just put it in the comment section below. FOI Bible Studies at, put it in there, inbox.com. FY Bible Studies inbox.com. There we go, brother. So we can definitely get caught up with that. Let's see, you want to get land? Okay, cool. Absolutely, we can talk about that. But guys, hey, look, I appreciate it. I mean, I just pop out, I was thinking about it, and I don't know, it was just kind of in my spirit. I was like, you know what, turning back, looking back, you know, it's hard, guys. It's hard. It's really, really hard. A lot of things can get us to look back, you know. Our jobs, our income, our careers can get us to look back, you know, get us to doubt, get us to, I don't know if I can do this, if I should. Our spouse can get us to look back, you know, hey, I may lose this person, I may. Look at things as if your salvation is on the line, right? And you just ask yourself that, okay, am I going to be out of order? Is my salvation on the line? If I turn back, if I capitulate and acquiesce to this person, even if it's a sister, right? If it's a sister and she's thinking about, you know, maybe getting married or whatever, you got to ask yourself, okay, is this guy going to lead me in a direction that I should go? Is he going to help me get closer to the Messiah and the Father? Or is he going to lead me astray, lead me away from it, right? You ask yourself that, because why? Your salvation is on the line. You hook up to the wrong person, you get caught up with the wrong person, and now you're going in the wrong direction, right? You're on the wrong path. Okay, fellas, are you gonna allow a woman to get you off the path? Okay, like I said, I went both ways, men or women, right? Either one can get you off the path. You gotta be certain. Once you're on that path, you got to do whatever you can to stay on that path and ask yourself, who is worth going to hell for? That's really, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So I appreciate you guys joining me. Maybe we get together tomorrow. Like I said, I don't want to ever get on, waste you guys' time. You know, I maybe have an idea for the topic, but I'll just let the Spirit kind of move me and give me some ideas and stuff like that. that we could talk about tomorrow for Shabbat, so we can kind of fellowship and stuff. But until then, guys, stay woke. Israelite Prepper.